Amy Schumer might just be the most universally disliked comedian working today. A quick glance at nearly any worst comedian list online reveals her name at the top, often by a landslide. But what makes this story so fascinating is that Amy Schumer wasn't always hated. In fact, at one point she was seen as a rising star, even appearing on Time's list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Her comedy specials were earning positive reviews. Her show Inside Amy Schumer won awards, and she was considered a voice for a new generation of female comedians. But in the span of just a few years, Amy Schumer managed to alienate nearly every audience that once supported her. Her career didn't just plateau, it crashed. What followed was a slow, public unraveling that transformed her from comedy's golden girl into one of the most ridiculed figures in the industry. And it all started with one uncomfortable truth: she was never that funny to begin with. From the start, critics and fans alike noticed that Amy's comedic range was narrow, painfully narrow. Her material heavily relied on two recurring themes: her own anatomy and how gross it supposedly was. In one special, a reviewer praised her delivery but couldn't help admitting she was a one-trick pony. Another audience member broke it down more harshly. "Here is my vagina. Want a detailed description? You will have it anyway." Also, men are pathetic, and I like to insult and emasculate them in every way possible. The problem wasn't just that the jokes were repetitive, it was that they actively alienated large swaths of the audience. Male viewers felt attacked. Female viewers got tired of the relentless self-deprecation. And before long, even her fans were asking, is there really anything else she can talk about? Then came the politics. In 2016, over 200 people walked out of an Amy Schumer show after she launched into a brutal tirade against Donald Trump. Whether you agreed with her or not, the reaction was loud and clear. People didn't come to hear about politics, they came for comedy. Amy's audience quickly discovered she wasn't just casually political, she was fiercely partisan. She made headlines for using her pregnancy announcement to push a voting list, only listing Democratic candidates. She interviewed Hillary Clinton, and while none of this is inherently wrong, what rubbed people the wrong way was the hypocrisy. Back in 2007, she had appeared on Fox News, the same network she now treated as evil. So now Amy had done something comedians are constantly warned about. She cut her audience in half. The people who once mildly enjoyed her humor were now turned off by her overt political messaging. But instead of reflecting on this, Amy blamed her critics. Anytime someone disagreed with her or said they didn't find her funny, she didn't consider that maybe her material had grown stale. She insisted they were alt-right, sexist, or hateful. That victim complex became one of the biggest thorns in her reputation. According to former fans, Amy Schumer had developed an almost impenetrable defense system where any criticism was written off as bigotry. One Reddit user summed it up perfectly. Worst of all, when her audience gives her honest feedback, she whines about how her critics must hate women or how they're all alt-right. Yeah, sure, Amy. We all hate you because we're a bunch of Nazi misogynists, not because you keep telling the same vagina joke for 10 years. The next blow to her reputation came not from her jokes, but from her personality. Schumer started showing signs of a superiority complex, one that didn't go unnoticed. In 2015, Page 6 reported that Amy stormed out of a luxury gym in New York after being asked to scan her membership card like everyone else. Her response? "I'm famous." Another article described an incident in which she refused to take a photo with a fan, later blasting the man publicly on Instagram. Amy claimed the man had scared her and refused to stop taking photos, but when the man was interviewed on local news, he told a very different story. According to him, he calmly pulled out his phone and was stunned by Amy's over-the-top reaction. He also denied every detail of her version, calling it totally false. This pattern repeated again and again. Amy would escalate a relatively minor situation, take it public, play the victim, and then blame the fallout on others. So when Netflix offered her $11 million for a stand-up special in 2017, you'd think she'd be grateful, but instead she complained, loudly. Amy claimed it was unfair that she was offered less than Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, who both received $20 million. What she failed to consider was that Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are legends in comedy, and their Netflix specials actually performed well. Amy's special, on the other hand, was so poorly received that it triggered a major change in Netflix's rating system. Her 2017 special, The Leather Special, got absolutely demolished by audiences, scoring just 1.35 out of 5 stars, a rating so low that Netflix removed the star system entirely. IMDb didn't show much more mercy, with a rating of 3.1 out of 10. For context, Chappelle's special scored an 8.2. Even Chris Rock's, which received mixed reviews, still came in at 6.6. And yet Amy Schumer demanded equal pay. The internet's reaction? Complete disbelief. She wants Dave Chappelle money but hasn't put in the years. Talk about privilege. Another comment put it even more bluntly. Girl, what? But if you thought Amy's credibility couldn't sink lower, there was still one more scandal brewing. One that comedians take more seriously than anything else. Joke theft. Over time, multiple compilations started circulating on YouTube, showing Amy telling jokes that were nearly identical to bits done years earlier by other comedians. The similarities weren't subtle. Joke after joke followed the same setup, same punchline, and in some cases, the exact same wording. At first, Amy denied it all. "I've never stolen a joke in my life," she wrote on Instagram. She even said she'd take a polygraph. And she did. In a Vanity Fair video, she was asked whether she'd ever stolen a joke. Even worse, comedians behind the scenes began quietly whispering that Amy stealing jokes was a common conversation in green rooms and writing rooms. While none of the cases were proven in court, the perception stuck. And in comedy, perception is everything. But the final nail in the coffin? A joke about a dead friend. In 2014, Amy appeared on the Comedy Central roast of Charlie Sheen and delivered a brutal jab at Jackass star Steve-O. Referencing the death of his best friend, Ryan Dunn, she said, "I know you were thinking it could have been me, and we were all thinking, why wasn't it?" Even on a roast, where edgy jokes are expected, this one hit too hard. The room laughed, but not comfortably. Even Steve-O, a man known for laughing through everything, didn't crack a smile. Yet, when a teenage fan made a light-hearted joke about Amy's dating life on Twitter, she lashed out. The boy had posted a photo with her and captioned it, "Spent the night with Amy Schumer." Certainly not the first guy to write that. Amy responded, "I get it, because I'm a expletive. Glad I took a photo with you. Hi to your dad." The hypocrisy wasn't lost on her audience. Amy could joke about someone's dead best friend, but a 17-year-old teasing her got the full wrath of her Twitter fingers. That double standard, combined with years of self-praise, comedy stagnation, victim playing, and unlikability, became too much for the public to ignore. The same qualities she once used to rise to fame were now dragging her down. And as her audience dwindled, her reputation collapsed entirely. Today, Amy Schumer remains a divisive figure. Hollywood still embraces her. Netflix still gives her deals. But online, she's the punchline. The poster child for everything people claim is wrong with modern comedy. And while some of the hate may be exaggerated, most of it comes down to one truth. People got tired of the act. And when the act didn't change, they stopped laughing.